Have you ever woken up in the morning feeling like your body aged 10 years overnight? Your legs stiff, your energy low, your sleep unrefreshing, even though you didn't do anything unusual the day before? If that question feels personal, it's because it is. Millions of adults between 60 and 85 experience this exact pattern, often quietly and without answers. They assume their body is simply wearing out. They assume weakness, fatigue, cold feet, and slow recovery are unavoidable parts of aging. But that assumption hides the real truth. In the next few minutes, I'll show you why this happens after 60, and the exact systems you need to support to feel steadier, warmer, and stronger again, without pushing your body harder. What's actually happening has very little to do with age itself, and everything to do with how certain systems inside your body are communicating. The body is built on constant messaging. Signals between muscles, blood vessels, nerves, and cells that tell everything when to work, when to repair, and when to rest. When those messages are clear, the body feels capable and resilient. When they become distorted or delayed, the body feels older than it should. And when those signals are restored, the body often responds, sometimes dramatically, even later in life. I want you to imagine someone in their early 70s, mentally sharp, independent, still motivated to stay active. They remember being able to walk through a grocery store without thinking twice, climb stairs without planning ahead, and sleep through the night without waking up stiff or sore. Now, walking feels harder than it should. Legs feel heavy by midday, almost as if gravity has increased. Feet are cold at night, even under blankets. Sleep is light and broken. Doctors say the heart looks fine. Blood tests are normal, and yet the body clearly isn't functioning the way it once did. This situation is incredibly common, and it reveals an important principle. Senior health problems rarely come from one big failure. They don't usually start with a dramatic diagnosis or a single broken part. They come from small, quiet changes happening together. Changes in inflammation, circulation, muscle signaling, oxygen delivery, and recovery. Each change by itself may seem minor, but together they create a powerful downward pull on energy and strength. This is the senior health blueprint most people are never shown. Instead of being told how these systems interact, many people are told to accept decline as normal. But what's normal is not the same as what's inevitable. After about age 60, the body becomes less tolerant of internal stress. The margin for error shrinks. Things you could get away with at 45. Poor sleep, long periods of sitting, skipped meals, highly processed foods, or constant low-grade stress begin to leave a mark. Not all at once, but slowly. You don't wake up one day broken. You wake up gradually feeling more tired than you expect, a little stiffer each morning, weaker in the legs, and slower to recover after activity. One of the first systems to shift under this accumulated stress is inflammation control. Inflammation is not always harmful. In fact, it's essential for healing. If you cut your finger or strain a muscle, inflammation is what starts the repair process. But chronic, low-grade inflammation is different. It's like a dim light that never turns off. The body is constantly on edge, constantly repairing, never fully recovering. Over time, this interferes with muscle repair, stiffens blood vessels, disrupts blood sugar control, and drains energy at the cellular level. This is why many seniors say things like, "I eat less but still gain weight," or "I exercise but don't get stronger." Chronic inflammation blocks the signals that tell your body to burn fuel efficiently and rebuild tissue. Muscles receive the message to work, but not the message to recover. Fat cells receive the message to store, but not the message to release. When inflammation stays elevated, muscles struggle to repair between activities. Blood vessels don't relax and widen the way they should. Cells don't absorb oxygen as efficiently. Even when you're resting, the body feels tired because it's working against internal resistance. Many well-intentioned people respond by pushing harder. More exercise, stricter diets, fewer calories, longer walks. But when inflammation is already high, pushing harder often backfires. The body interprets that extra effort as stress, not progress. Instead of getting stronger, people feel more sore, more exhausted, and more discouraged. The result is soreness, exhaustion, and frustration. The solution starts with calming inflammation, not fighting the body. This is an important shift in mindset. For many years, people are taught to battle symptoms, push through fatigue, override stiffness, ignore soreness. After 60, that approach often creates more strain. Calming inflammation means creating an internal environment where the body feels safe enough to repair again. Supporting the body begins with nutrients that gently reduce unnecessary inflammation. Omega-3 fatty acids help soften inflammatory signals and improve blood vessel flexibility. Magnesium supports muscle relaxation, nerve signaling, and sleep quality, all of which influence inflammation levels. Vitamin D plays a role in immune balance and muscle strength, while antioxidants from whole foods help neutralize oxidative stress that quietly damages cells over time. Together, these supports help restore the body's natural repair rhythm. Just as important as what you add is what you reduce. Excess sugar, ultra-processed foods, irregular sleep, and constant mental stress all act like fuel on an inflammatory fire. Even small daily reductions, less sugar, earlier dinners, more consistent sleep timing, can lower inflammation enough for the body to begin responding again. Sleep deserves special attention because it is one of the most powerful anti-inflammatory tools available. After 60, sleep often becomes lighter, not because the body needs less rest, but because inflammation, stress hormones, and reduced circulation interfere with deep sleep stages. Many seniors fall asleep easily, but wake up unrefreshed. Supporting sleep with consistent bedtimes, calming evening routines, magnesium, dim lighting, and reduced late-night stimulation can significantly improve recovery, energy, and even mood within weeks. As inflammation calms, circulation becomes the next critical focus, especially in the legs. Most people believe circulation problems will always show up in heart tests, but that's rarely the full picture. Large arteries may appear clear, while the smallest blood vessels struggle to deliver oxygen and nutrients to muscles and nerves. This is why someone can be told their heart is healthy while still experiencing weak, heavy, or cold legs. They are early signals that circulation needs support. Over decades, long periods of sitting, reduced daily movement, vessel stiffness, and inflammation make it harder for blood to return from the legs to the heart. When this happens, muscles receive less oxygen and fewer nutrients, which contributes to fatigue, weakness, and slow recovery. Early signs are subtle and easy to dismiss. Cold feet that never seem to warm up, calves that ache at night, legs that feel tired after standing in line, shoes that feel tighter by evening due to fluid pooling. These are not random annoyances. The solution is not extreme cardio or exhausting workouts. In fact, overly intense exercise can worsen inflammation and discourage consistency. What the body responds to best is gentle, frequent blood flow stimulation. Daily movement plays a powerful role, even in small amounts. Short walks spaced throughout the day, light cycling, chair-based movements, ankle pumps, and simple calf activation exercises all help act as a pump, encouraging blood to move back toward the heart. These movements also send signals to blood vessels to stay flexible and responsive. Nutritional support matters here as well. Adequate hydration keeps blood from becoming too thick. Nutrients that support blood vessel relaxation and nitric oxide signaling help improve circulation at the smallest levels, where oxygen exchange actually happens. When circulation improves even slightly, many people notice warmer feet, lighter legs, and improved stamina. Together, calming inflammation and restoring gentle circulation create the foundation for improved energy, strength, and recovery, without forcing the body or overwhelming it. Oxygen delivery is tightly linked to circulation and muscle strength, and it is one of the most overlooked factors in how the body feels after 60. Every movement you make, standing up from a chair, climbing stairs, carrying groceries, depends on oxygen reaching muscle cells at the right time. Oxygen is what allows muscles to produce energy and then recover afterward. When oxygen delivery is efficient, muscles feel responsive and resilient. When it declines, even simple activities begin to feel tiring. As circulation slows with age, oxygen delivery naturally becomes less efficient. Blood may still be flowing, but it moves more slowly through the smallest vessels where oxygen exchange actually occurs. This means muscles receive less oxygen during activity and struggle to clear waste products afterward. The result is muscles that fatigue quickly, feel heavy, and take longer to recover. This is one reason muscle loss accelerates after 60, even in people who stay active. Muscles that do not receive enough oxygen during and after movement receive a subtle message that they are no longer needed at the same level. Over time, the body adapts by reducing muscle size and strength. This process is gradual, which is why many seniors don't notice it until tasks they once did easily suddenly feel difficult. The encouraging news is that muscles remain highly responsive to proper signals well into advanced age. They do not need extreme stress to stay strong. What they need is consistent oxygen delivery and clear recovery signals. Strength training plays an important role here, but it does not need to be heavy or intimidating. Slow, controlled movements using light resistance are often more effective than fast or forceful exercises. These movements increase blood flow to working muscles, improve oxygen delivery, and send a strong message to muscle tissue that strength is still required. Even simple exercises done with intention, standing from a chair slowly, gentle resistance bands, controlled leg lifts, can help preserve and rebuild muscle. Equally important is how muscles are supported nutritionally. Protein intake becomes more critical after 60 because older muscles are less sensitive to protein signals. This means they require a slightly higher and more consistent protein intake to trigger repair and rebuilding. This does not mean overeating or focusing on large portions at one meal. Instead, it means spreading protein evenly throughout the day and choosing high-quality sources that the body can easily use. Hydration also plays a role in oxygen delivery. Dehydration thickens the blood slightly, making it harder for oxygen to move efficiently through small vessels. Many seniors drink less water to avoid frequent bathroom trips, but even mild dehydration can worsen fatigue and muscle weakness. Consistent, moderate hydration supports circulation and oxygen exchange. Recovery is where all of these systems come together. Without adequate recovery, improvements in strength and circulation never fully take hold. Recovery is the phase when muscles rebuild, blood vessels adapt, inflammation settles, and energy stores are restored. This is why recovery is not optional after 65. It is essential. Sleep is the foundation of recovery. Deep sleep is when growth hormone is released, tissues are repaired, and inflammation is reduced. When sleep is short or fragmented, recovery is incomplete. Muscles remain sore, energy stays low, and progress stalls. Supporting sleep through consistent routines, calming evening habits, proper nutrition, and stress reduction has a powerful effect on how the body feels day to day. Stress management also matters more than many people realize. Chronic stress keeps the nervous system in a constant state of alert, which interferes with circulation, digestion, and muscle repair. Gentle relaxation practices, breathing exercises, and periods of true rest help shift the body into a repair mode where recovery can occur. Many seniors are surprised to discover that they feel stronger and more energetic when they do slightly less activity but allow more recovery. This is not a sign of decline. It is a sign of smarter support. When recovery is respected, the body responds more positively to movement, strength work, and daily activity. This is the complete senior health blueprint in action. Calm inflammation so repair signals can work, restore circulation so oxygen can reach muscles, support oxygen delivery with movement and nutrition, and protect recovery so gains are not lost. In the next part, we'll move from understanding these principles to applying them in daily life. You'll learn which specific vitamins and nutrients help improve circulation and oxygen delivery, how to structure a simple daily routine that builds strength without draining your energy, and the recovery strategy that allows your body to repair itself instead of slowly breaking down after 65. This is where understanding turns into action, and where many people begin to feel real, noticeable changes. Even later in life, it responds when the right conditions are restored. In part 1, we took the time to explain what is really happening beneath the surface. We talked about how chronic, low-level inflammation quietly interferes with your body's ability to repair itself. We explained how circulation gradually slows, especially in the legs, and how this reduces oxygen delivery to muscles. And we discussed how recovery becomes less efficient, not because your body is broken, but because it no longer receives the same clear signals it once did. None of that means your body has given up. It means the system is incomplete. This is important to hear clearly, especially if you've been told to simply accept decline as normal. Improvement is possible at any age. The human body is remarkably adaptive. I've seen people in their late 60s, 70s, and even 80s who believed their best days were behind them. Yet when inflammation was calmed, circulation supported, and recovery respected, they began to notice real changes. Steadier legs when walking, warmer feet at night, deeper and more refreshing sleep, and a renewed sense of confidence in daily movement. What changed wasn't their age. What changed was the environment inside their body. That's why the goal moving forward is not to push harder or force progress. After 65, that approach often creates more stress and less improvement. The goal is to support smarter, to give your body the signals it needs to do what it is still capable of doing. In this part of the guide, we're going to focus on the recovery system. This includes specific vitamins that support blood vessels and nerves, daily habits that gently reinforce circulation and oxygen delivery, and simple, repeatable signals that help restore strength and independence over time. This is not a quick fix. Nothing meaningful ever is. It's a system, one designed to work with your biology rather than against it. And like all effective systems, it works best when it's applied consistently, patiently, and with realistic expectations. Let's start with vitamins, not as magic pills, but as biological messengers that help guide how your body functions day to day. Vitamins do not force your body to change, and they do not override aging. Instead, they support communication. They help cells send and receive the right signals for circulation, repair, and energy. After 65, these signals often become quieter, not because the body is incapable, but because absorption, diet, and metabolism all change with age. When key vitamins are consistently supported, many seniors describe feeling more stable rather than stimulated. Less heaviness, less stiffness, more reliability in how their body responds. Vitamin E plays a protective role for the inner lining of your blood vessels, known as the endothelium. This lining is responsible for allowing blood vessels to relax and widen when tissues need more oxygen. As we age, oxidative stress slowly wears down this lining. When that happens, vessels become less flexible, blood flow becomes more sluggish, and circulation, especially to the hands, feet, and legs, suffers. Many seniors are low in vitamin E because absorption becomes less efficient with age, and because many modern diets are low in healthy fats, which are required to absorb it properly. Over time, restoring adequate vitamin E support may feel like warmer hands and feet, less heaviness in the legs, and improved comfort during walking or standing. These changes tend to be subtle at first and build gradually. Gentle guidance. Vitamin E works best as part of a balanced system alongside other nutrients and healthy fats. Extreme dosing is not necessary for benefit. Vitamin C is essential for producing collagen, the structural protein that gives blood vessels strength and elasticity. Strong vessels are better able to handle changes in blood flow during movement and recovery. Without enough vitamin C, vessels can become more fragile and less responsive, which can contribute to bruising, slower tissue repair, and reduced circulation efficiency. Seniors are often low in vitamin C due to reduced intake of fresh fruits and vegetables, decreased appetite, or increased oxidative stress that uses up vitamin C more quickly. Over time, improved vitamin C support may be felt as better tissue resilience, less tenderness, and smoother recovery after activity. Gentle guidance. Steady, consistent intake matters more than taking large doses all at once. Vitamin B3, also known as niacin, supports healthy blood flow by helping blood vessels relax and widen, particularly the smaller vessels that supply muscles and nerves. This can be especially helpful for circulation in the legs, where blood flow naturally works against gravity and often slows with age. Seniors may be low in vitamin B3 due to dietary changes, reduced appetite, or changes in metabolism that affect how B vitamins are processed. Over time, improved support may feel like lighter legs, improved walking endurance, and a gentle sense of warmth in the extremities. Gentle guidance. Niacin should always be approached carefully and conservatively, especially for individuals who are sensitive to flushing or other effects. Vitamin K2 plays a critical role in directing calcium to where it belongs, into bones and teeth, rather than soft tissues like arteries. When calcium is not properly regulated, it can contribute to vessel stiffness over time. Vitamin K2 helps support long-term arterial flexibility and circulation health. Many seniors are low in vitamin K2 because it is found primarily in fermented foods, which are less common in many diets, and because absorption can decline with age. Improvements with vitamin K2 tend to be gradual and subtle, supporting long-term vessel comfort, joint ease, and overall cardiovascular resilience. Gentle guidance. Vitamin K2 works quietly over time and is best viewed as long-term support rather than something you feel immediately. Vitamin D3 supports muscle strength, immune balance, and healthy blood vessel function. It also influences nitric oxide signaling, which helps blood vessels relax and respond appropriately during movement. After 65, vitamin D deficiency is extremely common due to reduced sun exposure, changes in skin synthesis, and limited dietary sources. When vitamin D levels are supported consistently, many seniors report better balance, improved strength response to exercise, and more stable day-to-day energy. Gentle guidance. Vitamin D works best when levels are maintained steadily over time rather than taken inconsistently. Vitamin B12 is essential for red blood cell formation, which directly affects how much oxygen your muscles and brain receive. It also supports nerve signaling, which influences balance, coordination, and strength. As we age, stomach acid production often declines, making it harder to absorb vitamin B12 from food. This makes deficiency common even in people who eat adequate amounts. Over time, restoring B12 support may feel like clearer thinking, improved balance confidence, reduced tingling or numbness, and better stamina. Gentle guidance. Vitamin B12 is foundational for energy and nerve health and becomes increasingly important after 65. Vitamins set the stage for recovery, but daily habits are what keep the system active. Think of these habits as daily reminders to your body. They don't exhaust you, and they don't require willpower. Instead, they quietly reinforce circulation, oxygen delivery, and strength every single day. After 65, the body responds better to frequency and consistency than intensity. Small actions, repeated daily, send clearer signals than occasional bursts of effort. Walking is one of the most effective circulation tools available to seniors, but timing matters. Short walks earlier in the day help wake up circulation after hours of inactivity. Morning or late morning walks gently signal blood vessels to open and muscles to engage without strain. Walking shortly after meals, even for 5 to 10 minutes, helps move blood through the legs, supports glucose balance, and reduces post-meal sluggishness. This is especially helpful for seniors who notice heaviness or fatigue after eating. Long periods of sitting are one of the biggest enemies of circulation after 65, especially when legs hang motionless. When sitting, blood can pool in the lower legs, increasing stiffness and heaviness. Gently elevating the feet when possible, shifting positions, or performing small ankle movements helps keep blood moving back toward the heart. Even subtle actions, rolling the ankles, flexing the calves, or standing briefly every 30 to 45 minutes, send important circulation signals. These small interruptions prevent stiffness from building throughout the day. Nighttime circulation plays a larger role than many people realize. Sleeping completely flat can allow fluid to pool in the legs overnight, contributing to morning stiffness and swelling. Slightly elevating the upper body with an extra pillow can help support more balanced circulation. Avoiding pressure directly behind the knees also matters, as this area contains important blood vessels. Simple adjustments in pillow placement can make mornings noticeably more comfortable over time. Hydration supports circulation by keeping blood from becoming too thick or sluggish. However, timing matters, especially for sleep quality. Drinking fluids earlier in the day supports blood flow and oxygen delivery, while reducing nighttime bathroom interruptions. Small, consistent sips throughout the day are more effective than large amounts taken all at once. Many seniors unintentionally underhydrate to avoid nighttime waking, but mild dehydration can worsen fatigue and leg discomfort. Balanced hydration supports both circulation and energy. Your body responds strongly to simple, repeated movement signals. Ankle circles, gentle calf raises, slow chair stands, and controlled leg lifts all activate circulation and muscle fibers without stress. Performing these movements once or twice a day reinforces strength and balance signals. Standing up from a chair slowly, using muscles instead of momentum, is especially powerful. It trains strength, balance, and coordination at the same time. These movements don't need to feel challenging to be effective. Their power comes from consistency. Over time, they help restore confidence in movement and reduce the feeling that the body is fragile or unreliable. Progress after 65 is gradual, but meaningful, and understanding what change actually looks like can prevent frustration and unrealistic expectations. This system does not work overnight because your body is rebuilding communication pathways that have slowly faded over years. When those signals return, they do so step by step. In the first 1 to 2 weeks, many people notice subtle but encouraging signs. Feet and hands may feel warmer, especially at night. Morning stiffness may ease slightly, making it easier to get out of bed or start moving. Sleep may feel a bit deeper or more refreshing, even if total sleep time doesn't change yet. These early changes are signs that circulation and inflammation signals are beginning to shift. By weeks 3 to 4, endurance often starts to improve. Walking may feel less tiring, and legs may feel lighter instead of heavy or weak. Recovery after activity improves, meaning soreness fades faster and energy is more stable throughout the day. Balance confidence often begins to improve during this phase as oxygen delivery and nerve signaling become more reliable. After the first couple of months, strength, balance, and confidence tend to build more noticeably. Daily tasks, standing from a chair, climbing stairs, carrying groceries, feel less taxing. Many people report feeling more independent and less cautious about movement because their body feels more predictable and supportive. This timeline varies from person to person, but consistency almost always shortens the distance between effort and results. This recovery system works because it respects how the body heals. It does not fight aging. It works with biology. Vitamins support blood vessels, oxygen delivery, and nerve communication. Daily habits reinforce circulation and movement signals. Recovery allows strength and stability to rebuild over time. This is not a quick fix. It is a long-term strategy for independence, mobility, and confidence after 65. You may have noticed that this system relies on a few key supplements to support circulation, vessel health, nerve signaling, and recovery. For convenience, I've listed the specific supplements I recommend in the video description below, along with trusted links where you can review them and decide if they're right for you. As always, supplements are meant to support, not replace, healthy habits, movement, and sleep. Educational medical disclaimer. This content is for educational purposes only and is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Always consult your healthcare provider before starting or changing supplements, medications, diet, or physical activity, especially if you have existing medical conditions or take prescription medications. Consistency matters more than perfection. Small signals, repeated daily, create lasting change. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.